I get excited about Franklin County Rise because I wish it had been there 9 years ago when I was a brand new mom. When I started my work in this field, actually, I found out I was pregnant 2 weeks after I had started my work in the nonprofit sector. And I was in that gap of 145 to 300% of the federal poverty level. And it limited my childcare choices. Now, granted, I found a lovely and wonderful FCC provider who is still part of my family to this day. However, someone in my position necessarily would not have, that was all luck and that was all God, right? Everybody wouldn't have been able to necessarily find that in their price range. I may have had to quit. I may have had to stay home after finding out I was pregnant because there was no way that I was going to be able to afford childcare. There was no way. I was going to either have to, give up my job or put her somewhere. I don't know what I would have done.
Future Ready 5 is all about making sure kids are ready for kindergarten. And as you know, Franklin County Rise is about really rising up the whole community here around children and several other areas. And that Rise Poverty Blueprint at the center of it is about education and serving kids. And so Franklin County Rise does an amazing job ultimately serving the children within this community through scholarships and incentives that are in great need right now for our community. And so in partnership with Future Ready 5 and Action for Children and other folks that are working together closely with us, we're able to do some amazing work for kids that ultimately serves them in a way that we wouldn't be able to be serving them any other way.
Franklin County Rise is so important to the early childhood field in Franklin County because it provides support for both our early educators, our early child care programs, and the families. We know that the first 3 years of a child's life are the most important for growth, and we know that our kids are not entering kindergarten ready. So Franklin County Rise increases access to quality child care programs by providing affordability scholarships. Ohio has the lowest and the most restrictive eligibility guidelines for publicly funded child care. That means that there are a lot of families who are unable to access quality child care just because they make about a little bit too much.
I mean, ultimately, kids who are in poverty, children of color, children who are from really challenging backgrounds and really have struggled at times, or folks who are in that benefits cliff where between the 146% and the 300% benchmark for poverty and family income, ultimately those folks don't have options a lot of times for childcare. And so because of Franklin County Rise, a lot of families who wouldn't really have the option to have childcare for their children now have that opportunity. A lot of centers who wouldn't have had a chance to grow and improve and really make a difference in the lives of kids and all the other things we're able to do through the RISE program wouldn't happen without this particular work.
So what Franklin County RISE does is provide affordability scholarships for families who make between 145% to 300% of the federal poverty level. And that opens the door for so many families to be able to provide that care for their children. And we know that if they are struggling to pay for childcare, then that means less people are going back into the workforce. So we know that right now our childcare programs are in a hiring crisis. Many of our childcare programs are understaffed, and the staff that they do have, there's not enough to really pay them what they are worth. And so one way that Franklin County RISE helps the actual teacher is by emergency rental assistance. We know that the average pay rate for an early childhood professional right now is about $14 an hour. And I don't know about you, but I know that these rent prices, you're not getting much for $14 an hour. So providing emergency rental assistance for anyone who is in an early childhood program, right now we're averaging about a $4,000 payment for the providers who have applied right now. Another way that we are assisting the program itself is through incentives, really making sure that we are awarding and rewarding the hard work that these child care programs have put in. Attaining your Step Up to Quality rating is hard work. It is a lot of making sure that you have the teachers, the right teachers, you've hired teachers with the right qualifications, but also training them and making sure that they can utilize curriculum and assessments and that they're doing great things for children. That is a lot of work, and we want to make sure that we are rewarding you for that, but also rewarding you for increasing your star ratings, making sure that you're putting into place all of those practices that have been shown to be good for children. But when we have more childcare programs that are quality rated, that means that we are able to have more children have access to those quality environments that we know are going to be great for them to be able to be ready for kindergarten. And so those incentives really show that we are investing in our programs that we currently have. We also are rewarding for extending accessibility. So those programs who decide, you know what, I can extend my hours to serve those families who are working overnight. There are incentives for those programs. Programs who maybe are brand new to the field and don't have a PFCC agreement, they're getting an incentive. Or maybe they've been open for a while and they just don't have a PFCC agreement. If you decide, hey, this is a population of children that I haven't previously served, but now I want to make sure that I'm serving them, you're getting an incentive as well.